Aaron Bradley from the Post and Courier. Coach Saban, having built the kind of program you've built at Alabama and knowing Dabo, what have you seen in Clemson, the way they've gotten back to the title game 2 years in a row, and what you see from them in the future?
Well, I think Clemson and what Dabo has done with his program there is, one of the top college football programs in the country. They do an outstanding job of recruiting. They do an outstanding job of coaching. They do an outstanding job of developing players. And I can't tell you how much respect we have for the job that they do. And I think it's reflected in the way they play on the field, the success that they've had, the consistency in performance that their team has shown, whether it's offense, defense, and every phase of the game. So I think this is one of the top programs in the country, and certainly is reflected by the success that they've had on the field. And it's no surprise to me that they are where they are relative to last year's team and this year's team.
We're going to go all the way over to the far, far right, standing in the back.
Back here. Good morning, Dabo. Bill Roden from ESPN's The Undefeated. I just had a question for each of you. You each have very diverse coaching staffs. And I was wondering, do you think in the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to see a larger group of pool of talent? Since there are so many young, black players coming in, do you think you'll see a larger pool of talent coming into the coaching ranks, head coaching ranks, and sort of what do each of you do to sort of encourage that and mentor that?
Well, we've always tried to have programs inherent with our staff relative to creating opportunities for diversity, minorities. I think it's really, really important that your coaching staff represents and has the role models that a lot of these young men actually need and can be helpful in their development of helping them be successful as people, as students, and as players. So we have created a lot of positions, and I think sometimes to the point where a lot of administrators, say, why do you need all these people? And whether they're interns, graduate assistants, people that you can develop in the program so that they can gain experience and knowledge and come up through the ranks, I think it's very important that we make a commitment to that. And the way our rules are in the NCAA relative to only having 4 graduate assistants allowed on the field other than your full-time staff makes it a little more challenging to have an opportunity to do that. But I think it's really, really important that we all do that.
Yeah, I agree with that, and one of the things that I really want for our players is I want them to know that they can come to Clemson and not just score touchdowns and be an All-American on the football field, but they can be an AD at Clemson. They can be an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator. Tony Elliott, who played for me, is our offensive coordinator and calls the plays, does an unbelievable job. And I think that's a great message to those guys. Now you got to, nobody's entitled to anything. You've got to earn it. And it's the same thing if you look at our, Jeff Davis, who's, I always say he's kind of the Joe Namath of Clemson, if you will. He's in the Hall of Fame, in the College Football Hall of Fame. He's captain of the national championship team. Unbelievable guy. He's in the Ring of Honor. He's one of our athletic directors. And his role is critical. So I think we have a very diverse staff, and I believe in hiring great people, regardless. And but I'm very conscious. We have a ton of former players in our organization, a ton, probably 18 plus. And I think that's a great message for our team. Whether, again, same thing, it's great when you have opportunities, whether they're GAs or full-time coaches or player development guys or whatever, but to create these paths for them to grow and nurture them so that they have opportunities to be great coaches or whatever it is their path is in this business.
Right over here on to your right in the middle.
Stuart Mandel from Fox Sports for both of you. The turnaround from the semis to the championship this year was 2 days shorter. What adjustments did you have to make, and how does it compare to a game week during the season?
I think that this year's turnaround was probably a little bit closer to what a normal regular season would be relative to the number of practice days you have for a game. It's more challenging preparation that way. But at the same time, I think the routine for the players is probably a little more satisfying. Last year was a little bit of a tough management with the number of time you had between the season and the first playoff game and the time we had for the playoff game. And I thought our team was a little bit tired. We played a little bit tired in the game last year. It didn't seem like we had the juice. Maybe we practiced a little bit too much. Maybe it was just a little bit too much for them. Seems like this year, because the games were closer together, that really wasn't as much of an issue.
I agree. I thought we had great prep for Ohio State. We actually had a couple extra days built into that schedule, and it just seemed, I think we managed that very well. It was a little bit more of a challenge for us as coaches because last year we did play on Friday down here in the Orange Bowl, and we just kind of had a day to get back on Saturday, get situated, and then we had a full day Sunday as a staff to kind of get going, brought the players in on Monday. It really didn't change much for the players as far as, they still came back on Monday, but the big difference was we played on Saturday night. We did not get back until between 9 and 10 o'clock Sunday night. So coaches, we had to kind of make the plane our office, if you will, coming back. Players were able to sleep and rest, but I think it's been good. I think at this point, less is more. These guys just prepared almost a month for one game, and the biggest thing is getting these guys mentally and physically ready to go. You study the opponent, and you try to put a good plan together, but we pretty much have treated it like a normal week, and tried to be smart with the amount of time we spent on the field.
Take our next question from